some have superstitions about sex, and some view sex as something which is taboo as a result of our programming from our Christian backgrounds. And yes, today we'll be demystifying most of the superstition, breaking down the subject of sex, and dealing with sex from an in-depth spiritual point of view. Before we start, I'd like to chant out a mantra to make sure that we have a successful working collaboration with my brother, and also to spread the energy of peace and unity in the universe. Om Sahana Avavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Avadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So now, my brother, for the first question that I want to ask you about sex. Do you think sex is spiritual? And please discuss the spiritual side of sex as opposed to the exoteric side of sex.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I think sex is a very, very integral part of spirituality. In fact, the whole world, the creation of the world, according to the ancient African spirituality, is by meeting of male and female force coming together, and there was a form of copulation to bring about this universe that we are living in. And sex is something that was created by God or divinity or nature to bring life, to create new life into the world. So sex, I believe, is one of the highest forms of spirituality. And sex, as in consensual sex between adults or between people that are of the same mind, especially the male and female individuals, is the most highest form of expression of love. And it is something that is to be cherished and something that is to be reverenced, not something that should be taken for granted. And I believe there should be nothing evil about sex. And the way every soul comes to this earth, every human being that is being born, is by through the act of sex, meaning a man and a woman needs to meet, they need to copulate for a new soul to come to this planet. Souls do not just drop from the sky as in the movie Terminator. So every soul that wants to come, good or bad, they have to come through a human being, no matter where they are coming from. That is the only doorway that souls can enter this planet. So for the spiritual people that are saying that sex is dirty, sex is evil, I believe that they may be misguided or they are practicing something wrong. Because if God that created the universe created sex and saw that it was good, and humans are sexual by nature, they cannot even live without sex, then if they're saying sex is not good, then God is not also good. If they're saying sex is dirty, then God is also dirty. So that is the way I see this very issue.
Okay. Since you mentioned that our nature is based on sex, even the animals, even if you can go out in nature, you will see that there's a form of mating. Even nature has two sides. You have the male and the female principle, and they always have to come together to balance out
offspring.
Exactly.
So I don't see anything wrong with
sex. Definitely, sexy. There's nothing wrong about sex. However, I found that there's a certain group of people, a race, which has perverted sex to a point whereby they use sex in everything, marketing, advertising, in their talks, whatever that they can get their hands on, they basically sexualize everything. So it becomes perverted. So can you please talk more about that?
Yes, for what I see is that people have discovered that humans naturally are sexual animals, and they are attracted to sex. They are always in that vibration. So there are businesses or people that are trying to take advantage of that emotion. So they try to use the ideology or the philosophy of sex to sell whatever they are selling to people. So they try to sexualize everything that they are, every product that they have, so that it will appeal more to people, so that people will buy the products. There's in advertising, there's what we call subliminal suggestions in advertising and marketing. This is a practice of actually putting sexual messages uh, indirectly inside your advertisement or your products, so that people will buy that product without thinking properly. So it's a way of embedding sexual suggestions. They can bring pictures or images that depicts a man and a woman having sex, or depict sexual activities that we try to attract people to get that product. So when people look at the product, they think of sex. So anytime they see that product, they are predisposed to sex. So they feel good about the product. They want to buy or consume that product. So they are being used that to kind of psychologically manipulate people. So actually, this is a practice that has been banned in the advertising industry. But from time to time, advertisers are very, very clever. They find way of putting this kind of things in movies. They put it in advertisement campaign. They put it in product. They put it in jingles. They put it in food, in posters. But if they discover, most countries, if they discover you are using subliminal suggestions on your people, they are going to ban your product. But they still use it because it sells. That's why you see high rate of pornography, and everything is being sexualized in the TV, in the world today. Everything is sexualized because they know that people are predisposed to that, so they want to use that as an advantage to manipulate people. It's all about manipulation, nothing more, nothing less.
Very interesting. Have you seen kids' storybooks? They write about sex a lot, like the story of Hansel and Gretel. Have you seen such things?
Yes, we have been seeing that being targeted. They are using it to target children nowadays because they want children to, they say catch them young. They want to target children in a way to expose them to this kind of product, so that the children will grow up becoming addicted to the products where they are adults. So, but it's a very bad practice, but it's a sharp practice that has been expanded, propagated by these companies, but it's not good to target children in such advertisements.
Definitely. So, what's your take? What's your opinion about soulmates and
Soulmates.
the act of no soul ties and the act of
So,
sex? Yes, soul ties.
in my own experience, say that there are some people that soul ties, mean you have a kind of soul connection with the person in a past life. Now you people meet in this present life. In my experience, people have similar characteristics. So people will come across, you might meet somebody that is like you, almost exactly like you, but the person is a member of the opposite sex. You like what the person like, you have the same hobbies, the same dreams, the same attraction, the same worldview. From time to time, we see those kind of people. That's why we have best friends sometimes, people of same sex. Your best friends are naturally people that like the kind of things you like. You share the same hobbies, share the same desires. So you say, this person is my friend. Birds of the same feathers are always attracted together. So when you meet a girl of the opposite sex that have the same personality like you, you can say that this person might be a soul tie to you. You people can get along very well, and if you are lucky to meet such kind of people, it's a perfect relationship. But if you are not lucky to meet those kind of people, you have to make do with what you find. So for me, meeting somebody that you are very, very much familiar with is it's very hard to see, very rare. For that, you need to really maybe really look at for have to do a lot of selective process to get those kind of people. So, but if you are okay with what is in front of you or what is around you, you can still have a very good relationship with other people. So it's not necessary that you might have to find your soulmates or you are so tied to somebody. If there's destiny that both of you will meet, you will meet. If you can meet somebody that is good enough for you, I can be able to satisfy your basic need, or you have the same average understanding together, is okay as well.
Okay. Do you think that sex between two people, maybe one is of a high vibration and the other is of a lower vibration, do you think that it can lower the person's vibration or vice versa?
Well, I won't say, in my own view, when two people have sex, there's an exchange of energy in a way, a give and take expression, and there's also a meeting of energy as well. So it all depends on your will. If one of the partners have a very strong will, a very strong presence of mind, if the other partner does not have a strong presence of it, there's no way it can actually influence that person in any way. It can only influence that person, the other person, when that person does not have enough will or strong presence of mind. There are people that have sex, millions of sex takes place every day. People go to have sex with random people, men go out to have sex with prostitutes. These are rich men, powerful men, have money, they have wealth. They do this. They still live their normal life, continue, nothing changed in their life. They just do that for the experience of having sex with a girl. No, it does not change anything in the life of that person, because the person is having a strong presence of mind and a strong will and capacity. So that whoever I have sex with does not cannot have any effect on them or whatsoever, because they have a very powerful mind. You only have effects maybe when he begins to fall in love with the person, start listening to the person, start being influenced by the person. That is only way that something bad will happen to the person, will happen to him. But as far as he does not have that, nothing will happen to him. We live a normal life, a long life. As far as he didn't catch any venereal disease or STDs, I don't think anything will happen that if we change anything.
Okay, interesting. So now in the practice of Western magic, people like to do sex magic a lot, and you find that whenever they offer spirits something, they sometimes offer sexual fluids. They sometimes, okay, with I also charge sigils with sexual energy. Do you think there's a better way to do it, or do you think it's yes? Do you think it's a low form of magic, or there's a better way to do it? Do you think it's a bad practice, basically?
Thank
Yes.
you very much. This is exactly what I want to talk about. In Western occultism, chaos magic, there are different forms of sex magic. Sex, naturally, the act of sex, when you, in the process, you are actually moving energy in your body, sexual energy. You are using every aspect of you, body, spirit, and soul. You're trying to get to climax. What happens that when you get to a climax, there's a sort of explosion. I call it volcanic eruption. When you see the people orgasming, they are releasing the energies to that euphoria of pleasure, of power, of everything. You are kind of releasing it and basing in it. In that one split moment or that short time, the person will feel like, how will I describe it? An undescribable sense of pleasure, of well-being. There will be no pain, no anger, no hardship. The person will be so happy, so relaxed, like they are on drugs. It's even more than drugs. It's even more enjoyable. People will say it's the best form of feeling in the world. That's why people do it, because people want to be in that feeling, that state. So in that state, everything is perfect. Everything is possible. So if you can be able to achieve that state according to chaos magic, you can use it to manifest. If you can be able to imagine what you want, you can use it to manifest it into existence. I think on its own, it's a good form of manifestation. Sex on its own is it's a powerful form of manifestation. Now, combining it with a spirit together, it's a very potent form of manifesting something as well. So people do this energy and they attract this spirit to them. By you copulating, it's like now you are letting these spirits have the same feeling you are experiencing. You're getting it? In a way, you may be having sex with the spirits, because now the spirit have a avenue to experience what you are experiencing, that feeling of euphoria. Many people love to have that feeling. That is why many people have sex. So the spirit will be happy to feel like that for a while, and can be able to manifest something based on your capacity or will. So they use it for that manifestation. And the issue I am having with the so-called sex magic is the issue of tantra, whereby you see most practitioners, they are complaining that sex is not good, that it drains their energy. It drains them of physical energy.
Yeah.
And then there's also this of carenza. That is why I have issues with them. In African spirituality, we don't practice this form of sex magic. Okay? And in African spirituality, we don't consider sex as a weakness to our spirituality. If you come to Africa, polygamy is our nation. You will see a man with 50 wives, 80 wives, 90 wives, 20 wives, 10 wives. And the man sleeps with them every day, at least 4 rounds or 5 times, sleep with 5 women every day. He goes to work in the morning, he comes back, he sleeps with 4 women in the night. He does this on a daily basis. He still practices spirituality. If he's a traditionalist, he practices traditional spirituality. Some even practice Islam, some practice 3 or 4, 6 type of spirituality. All these women are inside the house. He takes care of them, he takes care of his children. So where is the weakness coming from? We don't have the problem of being drained of energy in African spirituality.
Yes.
So we don't have that. We don't even know it. We don't know it. So we have a lot of energy here. For these practitioners that are claiming that they feel drained after 1 round of sex, I only see 3 things in their case. One is that they are deficient by nature. Maybe they are not eating the right balanced diet. They are not eating the right kind of food to give them full body nutrient. 1. Number 2, they are not created well. They are inadequate. They are not real men. They are not created. They are not real humans. Okay, they are not created like African people. So they are deficient. As they are deficient, they are inferior specimen. Then the third one, they are just carrying this lie that is being spread in the occult community that sex drains energy. They are carrying, because this trend you can only find in the Western occult community, the so-called chaos magicians and the Eastern practitioners, Buddhists and Hindus. They are the ones that always claim that they are being drained. In African spirituality, we do not know it. We don't know it. So it does not affect our spirituality. So these people, what they are saying does not apply to us. You understand? It doesn't apply to us because we don't know it. So we are not the same. And I would like to believe that all men are not created equal. So if they claim that one round of sex a night drains them of energy, this kind of man that cannot only perform one round of sex, he cannot marry 4 women because he don't have the capacity to service 4 women in a night. He cannot. So this man lacks capacity. The man is inferior to somebody that have a higher capacity, is an inferior specimen. So that man should not impose his spirituality on the world or other people. If you cannot be able to service or maintain 5 women, you should not complain that the man that have 10, 15 women is bad or is evil. Okay? You see the problem they are getting, the problem I'm having with them. They are not pushing this low mentality, this inferior, inadequate mentality on the whole community like it is a regular thing. We are not all the same. So recently I did a video on this spirituality and masturbation. I posted it in a group. One of these people was commenting against masturbation in the video that it drains energy. So I looked at it again. I said, this is one of these people. We are not the same. African people have more virility. We are more physically powerful and spiritually powerful than most other people in the planet. So sex does not drain us spiritually. In Africa, you see one man with 10 wives, it is very normal. He sleeps with them every day. We have almost 50 children. What weakness? If he's weak, can he be able to do that kind of thing? He can't live that kind of life. But you see other races, especially from Asia and these white people, they don't have that capacity. So they are the ones that are always complaining of drain low energy. Me, as I am here, I can go 4 rounds of sex without eating for a day. If I don't eat a whole day, I can still have sex 4 times. I have that capacity. But some men cannot do it. So a man that cannot do that, we don't have anything to discuss because we are not the same. His capacity is lower than me. So he should know I cannot listen to that kind of man because his reality is not my reality. You see the problem? These people are trying to push this kind of inferior reality on other people that are superior to them. So that is the problem I am having with them always complaining of energy draining from sex. They should not complain. They should be ashamed of themselves because they are not real men. And I know many women that will support me. Many women will support me that these men are inferior men. And you see them not ashamed. If they, instead of them to talk that they need help and they are not created well, they are inadequate or they are deficient, so that we can offer them help, they are saying that it is a normal way to live. That is what they are pushing. And again, they are trying to want to prove that they are even superior to other people, that we that are having sex, that we are dirty people, we are not as spiritually sound as them that do not have sex. Can you imagine what they are saying? This is how they deceive people. They are pushing this false ideology. That's why we need to talk against it to counteract it in this practice. Then there's also the tantric practice they call carenza. This is a practice of trying to have sex, then they will hold back when it's time to climax. They are going to hold back the semen so that they will not come. They will keep for 1 hour, 2 hours. That is very, very stupid, and that is going to destroy them, will kill them. Because it's like you're torturing somebody, you are torturing yourself, that you are practicing a form of spirituality. How can you engage in the act to the point of climax, then you want to hold back? If you do this a long time, something will happen to you. Your anatomy will be affected because your anatomy is not actually designed to work in that way. It is not designed, our reproductive system is not designed to work in that way. So these people that are practicing this form of practice that is a way of manifesting, that is a very wrong practice. It is a stupid practice. It is anti-nature practice. It is insane. For you doing that, withholding, then you want to withholding, then you are saving. What are you? In Africa, we have a lot of energy. You see people having 50, 100 wives. We still manifest what we want to manifest. So what are these people doing that they cannot find another way to manifest? For me, that is an insane practice. It's a practice of self-torture and self-abuse that can even kill the person, can cause serious physical and psychological damage to the anatomy of the person.
Yes,
So it's also dangerous. It is not. I have seen this practice. I say this thing is totally wrong to me. That is why we don't have it in African spirituality. People that are trying to save their energy in that way are people that are really, really deficient sexually. They are really, really deficient. If they have enough sexual power, like the way African men have sexual power and capacity, they will not even imagine that kind of practice because we have enough to give. African man, we have sex 10 with 10 different women every day, and it's still going. We do this for a lifetime. So what is their draining that they are stressing themselves for? That practice is to me, it's a stupid practice. It's a stupid practice. These people that are doing all these things, they are pushing. There's nothing that they can do that I cannot do, even better. With my mixing and with my herbs and even with my pen, I can be able to do things that, and we manifest whatever they are torturing themselves to manifest. I will still manifest it from my sitting position here by meditating for just a few minutes. So these people, they are just they are mad people. Let me say that they are mad and they are stupid people. This is a problem I see with this community, this chaos, occult people that are pushing this kind of mindset. We don't have this in African spirituality. We don't know it in African spirituality. It is not for us. Yeah, we have a lot of energy. We have more than enough energy that abounds everywhere. So we are different. We are not created equal. So what is applying to them does not apply to us. That is not our reality. That is the way I see it.
Definitely, it's a very, very, very stupid idea when you think of it. Also, whenever you want to, let's say, save that energy, you are in a way repressing your sexual desires and needs, and sometimes it comes out very strongly, and that's why you see that these people become so scandalous. They have incest and other sexual bizarre natures.
Yes, a repressed sexual desire will actually manifest in a way that will be not good for the person that is repressing. That's why we should not repress sexual desires. It can become twisted and very detrimental to us. So these people trying to repress their sexual energy in this way, they're actually causing more problems in their life, manifesting more problems in their life also. That is a very wrong practice. There is no form of African spirituality that you are going to find this kind of practice. You're going to check Vodun, Queen Banda, Orisha system, Igbe system, even ancient Egyptian system. No one practice this method come from the Hindu people, the Eastern people, and these so-called chaos, so-called magic are the ones that start this stupidity. Always complain of, and they are inferior people by nature, and they will not admit that they are inferior. If one round of sex we stop you from connecting with whatever you are connecting, then you are not a superior person, you are inferior, and we should not be talking because we are not created the same. So that is the way I see these people. Very sad, but we have to say it. That kind of spirituality is not for us Africans. It's not for us. We don't need that.
So there's a group that I'm currently participating in, and over there they asked me how to activate decision, and then I gave them the best way in which I referred to the sex magic method of doing it. And then this person came out of nowhere and told me that to masturbate and actually ejaculate all the time, there's wormholes and portals that are opening up for spirits that will come and haunt you, that stuff. Man, do you believe in such mythology?
Don't do anything. You know that online there are so many people trying to prove that they are superior, they are professors, all sorts of people talking what they don't know. So we see this kind of people. They are mad people. You should not listen to them. Because sex is a very natural thing, and animals have sex. Humans, no, there's nothing special about it apart from procreation and relaxing, stimulating the body. Then any other thing that people want to say, talk, all kind of, those are just trash talks, opening portals and the rest. For ordinary sex, people have been having sex for thousands of years on the planet, and we are still here. So some people want to be just prove to be expert on things that do not know. So you should just ignore that person or just block them.
So yes, now most important question of the session. Okay, do you believe that sex and sensory excitation or maybe sensory overload can be used to control a person?
Yes, why not? It's an aspect of psychological manipulation. When you expose somebody to a kind of idea or certain types of image for so long, the person will either accept the image or reject the image. In most times, they will accept it if they see that there's a reward that is attached to it. There's this saying that I think it's by Karl Marx that if you tell a lie 1,000 times, it will eventually become the truth. So somebody can come to you today and tell you that this wall is black, and we all know that the wall is white. You will tell him that, what do you mean that everybody know the wall is white? But if the person keeps telling you the same thing every day, again and again, the wall is black, the wall is black, the wall. So at a point in time, so three things will happen. It's either you will say, okay, out of to make peace reign, the person will say, okay, we all agree the wall is not black. Or people with weak minds will actually start seeing the wall as black. Then as time goes on, they will now be referring to the wall as black. When somebody new comes, say, this wall is white, they'll say, no, the wall is black. I've been black for years. So once people keep showing you this image, this sexualized image, sexualized adverts, they are planting these thoughts in your mind, in your subconscious mind. So once these thoughts have been successfully implanted, it's going to start triggering a behavior in the personality of the person. So according to these marketers, they say for people to start getting impressions from adverts, you have to expose it to them like 5 to 9 times for them to really have an impression on the mind. So that's why you see all these advertisers, they keep showing their products again and again and again. They are trying to implant it into your subconscious mind. So once they do this for a long time, you find that when people start dreaming, you start seeing the product in the dream. You start internalizing the product, you see yourself actually using the products. As a result of that, it now translates to physically patronizing the product in real life. So it's a psychologically form of any idea you continually expose to people. It gets into them. That's why you see radio and TV stations all over the world, they have to restrict certain programs because they know that people believe what they see on TV, they believe what is being shown to them over and over again. That is why they have to restrict certain things from coming on air.
So there's a guy called Tuesday Lobsang Rampa. He's one of the Tibetan lamas and a monk actually. So those guys actually live in Tibet and they live in monasteries and they pursue a life of celibacy. Sometimes you even hear stories of them running away from women at the encounter of women. What do you think about such celibacy? I think it's madness, basically.
Okay. For people that live this life of secretion, in my own view, they are not actually experiencing life. It's like somebody that want to make a trip. You got to the seaside, you did not get on the boat. Instead of getting on the boat to experience what on the other side, you decide to build a hut and you never actually experienced life. For somebody that actually went on a boat to cross to the other side, and the one that never got on the boat, who has more experience? Who actually lived? Is it not the one that experienced life? You see these monks now, you see them in their temples, they don't do anything, they just meditate from morning till night, chant and do their spiritual exercises. And these people, we see this not only in monastery, we see this in Christianity. You see reverend fathers in the monastery praying. They are not supposed to get married. They don't associate with, they don't have experience living life. So somebody that does not have experience, real life experience, associating with people, solving problems, going out and actually doing things, and the people that actually live the life and do this every day, who have more experience in life, who is actually living. And the funny thing is that these people that have no experience about real life living are the ones now giving advice to people and counseling to people that are living the real life and seeing the real experience. Does it make sense? Are we not the one that is actually living life, struggling, fighting and struggling every day to make a living? Are we not supposed to be giving advice to those people that are in a cage, that don't know what it is to live in the real world? Are we not supposed to give advice to those people? So you see, the whole thing does not make sense. You see somebody that have never been married in their life, you have never put a wife in your house, a roof under your head, you have never feed children. You're not giving advice to somebody that is feeding children. You know what it is to get married. You know how to pay bride price, how to rent a house, how to change diapers of children, how to buy medicine for children. Do that person have that experience? Then you want to be giving advice to somebody that had that experience. So it's not, the world is upside down. We are the ones supposed to be giving advice to them in the monastery. You see them in their monastery. I have serious problem with them. I visit a lot of Buddhist monastery in Asia because I'm a spiritual person, and many of them, when they see me, they recognize me. So I have a lot of friends that are monk. I go out, I go to there, I visit them. You lock yourself in your temple. In your temple, you don't know, you have never seen war. You don't see problems of life. Everything you want is given to you. You don't see pain. You don't see anger. You're sick, you go to hospital. You don't feel what other people, real life people are feeling. So in my own view, they don't really have experience about life. I respect people more that are living regular life, struggling every day, than people that are in the monastery, because those ones have experience of living. They know what it takes to survive in the real world.
Exactly.
Now you see people in the monastery, the problem I have with them, they now look upon the regular people as sinful, as sinners. You see the way they look at us, the religious people, that we are sinners, they are pure people. Okay, if you want to prove that you are a pure person, leave your monastery and come and live like me. If you can live like me on the real world, let me see if you can still meditate properly. If your dick will not get up when you see a beautiful woman. If somebody slap you on the streets, if you are not going to react. When you see pressures of people coming to harass you, let me see how pure can you still be able to be. Let me see if you are not going to commit crime, 1 or 2 crime or cut corners to make extra money to meet up. You see the issue. So those people in the monastery, for me, they are not living life. They are just practicing what I call escapism. Escapism, that is what they are practicing.
Yeah.
If you want to experience life, you need to leave that monastery and come to live like the rest of us. And if you can still balance your spirituality with your physical aspect, and still withstand the kind of pain I am withstanding, and still show yourself worthy of who you are, then I will now respect you that yes, you are a real spiritualist. Not sitting in your temple for 20, 50 years, then you want to give advice on how people should live life. I will not listen to your advice because I have more experience than you. I am actually living the life and I do more things than you. So I don't really respect them much in that regard. They are on the wrong path. But this is the way life is. The same thing with Christianity. You see reverend sisters and reverend fathers have no experience on physical life, advising people that are suffering, living real life. Does it make sense? So you see them, those people coming, you go there, they will say that all life is sinful. that we came here, life is meaningless. If life does not matter, why don't you just commit suicide and go? But they refuse to commit suicide, they're hanging around. And mind you, these people are living on the well-being, on the people that they are calling sinners. It is the sinners that carry food to give them every day. It is the sinners that is paying for their temple. It is the sinners that is paying for their medical bills and everything. So what are we not talking? Is it not like a scam? It's supposed to be like a scam, right? Somebody is being lazy and
it's a mind
benefiting from other people's suffering, that you are offering spiritual advice to people. I don't need that, but many people have not been able to see this, that this is not the way to go. Okay. So this is a problem with these very people.
Their advice is really, really impractical, because you can't give advice on something you've never experienced, or something you are not really experiencing.
You cannot give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. That is a major fact of life. You can only give what you have.
Yes.
So these people, their form of spirituality, according to Sadhguru, it is very rudimentary. Like the lowest form of spirituality. That is what they are practicing. So they need to upgrade. To be honest, they really, really, really need to upgrade that system, because that system cannot serve this 2022 era. In fact, many old school religions, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, they really need to upgrade. Spirituality evolves. Everything in life evolves and changes. So we need to evolve. Even African spirituality needs to evolve. Yes, you cannot be doing things that are not moving you forward for thousands of years, because my father's put this stone on the ground, I should also be putting the stone on the ground like that. You need to find out why is this stone put on the ground and try to think of something better to replace the stone. This is why I only practice the ancient Egyptian spirituality, because that is the highest form of spirituality that was able to take the world to the height of civilization that has still not been rivaled today. So I only focus on that spirituality because I want to move forward. I want to grow. I want to be able to surpass those people. So I need something to challenge me. If your spiritual system does not challenge you, then it is a waste of time, to be honest. It is a waste of space. You're wasting your lifetime doing the same thing again and again. I also see a major problem with these very people in their temple. You see somebody saying that this whole world is illusion, nothing matters in the world. Then you sit down from morning to night meditating every day in order to go back to divinity. So that is a total waste of this lifetime. We humans, the aim of people coming to this planet is for spirit to experience life in physical body, right? So we came here to experience life. So what is the point of you already coming, being born to this life? Then you spend all your time sitting down and meditating to a lotus flower. It's just like somebody that is taking drugs. You're on drugs on a regular basis, always high and forgetting about your reality. Then when you get off the drugs, you take more drugs again, you get high again. You're just wasting this lifetime. If they feel that life does not really matter, they should commit suicide and go back to divinity instantly. But they are refusing to commit suicide. They're just wasting their time, wasting other people's time, and misleading us. It is people that are actually working with this head, those are the people moving life forward, not people that are sitting down meditating from morning to night. People sitting down meditating from morning to night do not do anything. They don't build buildings, they don't build bridges, they don't do any physical work. They just waste time. Anybody can meditate. So they should apply themselves to thinking of making this world a better place. So I see issue with that regard. That is why that spirituality system is not for me. It's not for me. It's not for Africans too. Anybody that's interested in nation building. It's for me. It's a form of escapism. That is why I see it, escapism.
Definitely. I also don't see it being practical, because, okay, even I practice Hinduism and I like Dharma, but I don't use Dharma as a form of escapism. I don't use it to meditate for the whole day and stuff. I use it to be able to balance my material life and my spiritual life. And this
Exactly.
concept of the earth and this and this concept of the earth and this universe being an illusion, it's just a mindset which is there to remind me that okay, there's something in the bigger picture. There's spirit, there's soul. I shouldn't be too focused on being angry at physical happenings,
Yes,
and
I
I
agree.
shouldn't let negative emotions overcome me. But as with other things in my life, I just use it as a way to be versatile. To be a spiritual person, you need to be versatile. You need to recognize.
Yes, you're on the right path. Spirituality is all about balance,
Yes.
balancing your physical life and your spiritual life, and trying to recognize this very existence. Nothing more, nothing less. So anything you are practicing must be balanced. If it is not balanced, you are overbearing or you are overgiving, then something is wrong. Like you see Christianity, Islam, it is not a balanced form. When you sacrifice your free will, you
Yeah.
sacrifice everything, your sense of responsibility to an invisible deity. That is not a balanced form of spirituality. That is not a spirituality based on faith rather than reason. It is not based on superstition rather than common sense. It is not balanced. That is why there are so many scam and problem with it. So as far as you can be able to balance what you are practicing, then you will be able to excel. That is the way I see it. You need to find a balance in it. These people that are meditating from morning till night, they are neglecting their physical responsibilities. You see the problem when you begin to neglect physical responsibilities and give all your time to spirituality, you are not drifting off. It now becomes madness or insanity or obsession. So when I go today, I see this kind of thing. I feel sad. I say, well, these people, their spirituality is very low. But people that don't know this, we think they are kind of practicing one high level of. So when I go to their temples, I'm not afraid. I always go there to just to look and do sightseeing. Many people will say, "Ah, you black guy, you going to Buddhist temple?" Many black people will never step into these temples, but I always go to anywhere I see a temple. I like to go because I know what they are practicing. And I look them like children that are just wasting their time. I go there, I interact with them, talk with them, sometimes even eat with them. I talk with their masters and we share ideas. Most of them understand the program, but it's a system, they just have to follow the system. And they're already trapped in the system, they cannot change it. It's not part of their culture. But it is the one of the lowest form of spirituality. It needs upgrading. Just like many other spiritual systems our people are following, even in African spirituality, they need serious upgrading. Things that will not bring progress, will not bring spiritual evolution or emancipation to the people. They needs to be upgraded, but many people don't know this. But I hope that with time, our people will know all these things and start upgrading our spirituality. The time of
Okay,
believing is
perfect. Do you know what I think about these people? I think religion has degraded to a point whereby it's surrounded by most superstition, and then some practices, their real meaning, it isn't there anymore. So now they're practicing something based on superstition, and as
yeah,
a
right.
result, you see some low of spirituality because they don't actually know what they are doing. So
They
that's
don't know
what
what they are
happens.
doing.
That's what
Yeah. They don't
exactly.
know what they are doing. What they are just following is tradition. That is when superstitious belief is now fall from science to superstition and tradition. My father did it this way. We have to do it this way. There's no other way we must do it. And when it falls to tradition, it starts degrading. So there's a difference between spirituality and tradition. In my country, for instance, if I tell people that I am a spiritualist, many people will think that you are a traditionalist. So I tell them that traditionalists and spiritualists are different. Traditionalists are people that practice African spirituality that only follow the tradition. Everything traditional is what they do. My parents doing like this, I must do it like this. I am not a traditionalist because traditionalists do not evolve. they do not grow. They are very, very conservative and they stifle progress. So me, I hate traditionalists, especially African traditionalists. I hate them a lot. I don't associate with them because their mentality is very low. They don't want to change. They don't want to see anything new. They don't want to bring anything new to their life, to the culture. They just want to be practicing the same old thing that did not help their ancestors. So I don't identify as a traditionalist. I rather prefer to identify as a spiritualist rather than a traditionalist. Because spiritualist is open to change, it's dynamic, open to evolution. So we need to change, we need to upgrade certain things that is not serving us, certain practices that does not make sense, that is based on pure superstition. They need to go, we need to upgrade the spirituality, upgrade the tradition. That is how people progress. That is how people evolve. So I am all about evolution. So I don't follow tradition. If I follow tradition, probably I will not even be talking about spirituality on YouTube because traditional people, many of them believe that you cannot talk about it on to any other person, especially not from the tribe, that it's a crime or a taboo to talk about African spirituality in public. I am one of the first people that has break that taboo because I don't believe in tradition. Tradition limit me from doing so many things. It's very limiting. So I don't live according to tradition. I am a spiritual revolutionary. That is why I consider myself. So I am not a traditionalist.
Yes, tradition is based on many superstitions. Even here, being a traditionalist, I'd have to wear beads. I'd have to wear that stupid
Dress certain way,
cloth
eat
that they wear.
so many things. Superstitious belief. If you say how flying, they will read meaning to it. They wake up in stomach, they will read meaning to it. Somebody did not greet them, they will read meaning to it. Just kind of one kind of limited, myopic lifestyle that is very, very undesirable. So there's some scary people that I that is not the way life should go. There's a time, the time those people, those things happen, this world is not dynamic. People are still thinking like 500 years ago. That is does not make sense.
What are some of the misconceptions and superstitions that you have in Nigeria?
We have so many superstitious beliefs, so many. It goes with different tribes and tradition. People believe, still believe, witchcraft. If they see owls, they will say the owl is a winch. People believe that all black cats are winch. People believe all black dogs are winch. People believe so many funny things that they see depending on how they wake up on the corner of their bed. They just read Homer, bad Homer to so many things. Somebody, you may not greet them in the morning, they will see reason. You and somebody is quarreling, anything that happens to the person, we say that you are evil person that is trying to destroy their life. If for not even being a Christian, they often see you as a demon worshiper that if you are not a Christian, you are an evil person and should be killed. People still think like this. So many kind of so many full of superstitious belief. We have this so much in my country. It stems from religion, stems from wrong thinking, wrong knowledge, and lack of awareness, ignorance. I will say ignorance is the problem. That's why we need to bring awareness about this.
Come and throw themselves at him, and then he runs away from them as a way to kind of keep pure. And have you encountered such people?
Yes, yes, we have a lot of them. Maybe he's having some sort of psychological issues. Probably he might have a bad experience with being with a lady before, or he has something he's hiding, or it could also be that he's feeling inadequate to women. We have those kind of men, shy men like that. Maybe he's feeling shy. There are some men that are like that. There are some boys when usually during the teenage age. Yeah, it's natural for boys to be shy and afraid of women. Then later they overcome that fear. We still have some men like that. So maybe it's one of those people. It's a psychological issue that can be worked on. Except you have something is hiding.
But this guy is around 30 something.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Some of them might even be 50. They might grow up like that. They have serious psychological issues that have not been worked on. That is, they have a shadow, hidden shadow they are hiding from the public. It could be that this person is sterile. It may be he cannot get it up, or he don't want women to know the secret, that if they know, they are going to laugh at him. He definitely have something he's hiding. So, and he have not been able to tell you or to tell his close friends. So there's something he's hiding that is holding him back, and he needs to talk. You need to get him to talk what is the problem, and I believe he will tell you the problem.
Okay, do you think there's any spiritual significance of sterility and impotence? Do you think there's a spiritual cause?
Spiritual causes.
For that?
Before I will go to spiritual cause, we need to look for physical causes first. It's not everything we just go straight for spiritual. Before we say something is spiritual, most of the time it's when we have exhausted all sources of physical anomalies. For instance, if you say you have a problem, we have to check his anatomy if everything is working fine. If it's okay physically, we check him and get him to a doctor. There's still nothing wrong with him. Then before we start talking about psychological issues, I told you in our last discussion that spiritual and psychological problems are one and the same thing. So we are going to check his mental state, if everything is okay, his view about women. We need to check that. If we can check that his mental state is okay, and I believe that this issue is purely psychological. There's something he's probably hiding. Maybe he's feeling inferior to women, he's feeling inadequate, and he don't want people to know. If we check there, I believe we will always see the problem. Because for men, or for a man to not be attracted to women, it's either he's having serious psychological issues or he's gay. If he's gay, he will not like women, he will not feel attracted to women. So that could be another factor. Have you checked him to find out he is not gay in a way? These are things we need to check.
Nah, he's not, because he approaches girls. Everything is fine. Just doesn't want to do that.
Does not cooperate. And maybe he cannot get it up. Maybe psychological issue, his reproductive system is not functioning properly. Because this is functioning properly, then he should want to be using it. And if he have opportunity to use it, he's not using it, then it may be that the thing is not working. That is the way I see it. So we should check if the thing is actually working well. They should take him to the hospital to check. Something is wrong somewhere. So you can find that out easily, very easily.
You know, this sex thing and spirituality thing is very, very sensitive. I didn't know that you can find somebody my age or somebody 30 years and can't get it up.
There are people like that. They can have problems. Not everybody, just like you have a car have different problems. You see some people, they are handicapped. Some people have one eye, one hand. There are some people that their dicks do not work. It's natural. We have seen those kind of people. Something that is okay, you can do, they cannot do it. There are men like that. So maybe it's one of those type of men. Or some men, their dick is too small. They are ashamed to show it to women. If women see, they laugh at them. So those kind of men are very, very afraid. And some men, their dick is very big too. Women also run from them. So something is wrong with the guy. We should check his anatomy and then check his mind. Two of those things. So we check that you find out the problem. There are men that are shy of women, whatever the problem, it can still be solved. No matter how the person is, you can always see somebody that we also like them. There are men like that. A lot of them, we have them, we call them eunuch.
Okay. There's also another popular thing in African spirituality. which says you can have sex with someone and then they are able to steal your occult powers. Can you speak more on that if you know something about it?
Yes, I know about that. This is a natural occurrence. This is a situation whereby a partner will take the semen or the sexual fluid of another person to use it for a ritual. People do that. Some bad people, they do it. They steal other people's sexual fluid. They use it for rituals, for money rituals, for power rituals. They use it as offering. People do that. That's why you don't need to be having sex with any kind of person. You need to know who you are having sex with. There are some people that is just their work. They take sexual fluids from people, they use it to do whatever they want to use it for. It happens a lot. So you need to be careful of who you sleep with. So somebody don't take that your sperm to use for a ritual, for whatever purpose. You don't know what they are using it for. People even buy those things. There's a black market for that. There's a black market that people buy the other people's sperms and blood, even menstrual blood. People buy that as well. To use it for all kind of rituals. So you should be careful who you sleep with. Don't trust somebody you don't sleep with them. Possible.
So there's also a concept of harvesting sexual organs to create powerful herbal concoctions. Do you know anything about
This is
that?
what we discuss our first discussion. That is what people use it for, money rituals. I told you that in Nigeria there's a lot of organ harvesting. It's very common in Nigeria. These people believe in money rituals that the only way to make money is by killing other people for money rituals. So they kill a lot of people in Nigeria every week. On the paper, this happens all the time. You have people with missing private part, missing organs. They use it for money rituals, all sort of rituals. It is very, very common in Nigeria. It's very, very bad practice. So they do it a lot. They do it a lot for doing all kinds of spells to make money. So it's a big business in Nigeria, and it's very bad.
Oh, okay. The only reason I asked this is because I thought maybe it was related to this topic that we are having today. I thought maybe there was a way that they
Do
were using
research.
sexual organs
It's part of
to
sex magic. It's part of sex
advertisements.
using a reproductive system for people to make money for money rituals and all sort of rituals. It's part of the topic.
Yes. How about aphrodisiacs? Do you know of any aphrodisiacs that are made by sexual organs and such things?
For enlargement of sexual organs,
Yes. And
for
for sexual excitation.
I have done lots of videos on aphrodisiac. I even did one recently, three simple type of for non-alcoholics. I think I did that yesterday. So there are so many kind of aphrodisiac for enhancement. Some are natural, some are unnatural, some are for operation. I know many of them. I did a video on three powerful, simple things you can eat for that. Onions and granite. I talked about tiger nuts. I talked about alligator pepper, mixing it with ginger. There are so many kind of aphrodisiacs you can do by eating certain kind of foods, mixing them together that you can actually use. There are a lot of information on that on the internet. Then, but for the one of expanding organs, I don't know of any spell to expand the organs. I don't know about it. What I know is that people do some operation whereby they say that some part of the uh, male reproductive system is inside the body. So the operation is to pull that extra part out to make it longer. Maybe like 4 inches is inside the person, so that we do an operation to bring it all out. So it will now be longer in size. But I will not want anybody messing around with their reproductive system. If something goes wrong, you are condemned for life. So anything that you have, you use it the way you are given. If God give you something, it is there for a reason. So you should be proud of it, and you should find somebody that is compatible with you. Everybody have who they are compatible with. If you have a small equipment, find a small lady. Don't go and be going after big ladies. It will not rhyme. You need to find somebody that rhymes with you. That is why I see some people want to overdo things. So everybody, somebody for everybody. So you find somebody according to your situation. So there's a lot of aphrodisiacs there, lots of them. You can use pawpaw, you can use dogoyaro, you can use black pepper, even red pepper, seafoods, vegetables, or different kind of stuff there that you can actually use to enhance your situation. And it will improve your sex life a lot.
Okay, in terms of enlarging the organ, there's people here in South Africa, traditional herbal doctors. It is said that there's a tree that you can acquire, and then a ritual can be performed. You plant that tree. As that tree grows and then you nurture it, then you will actually cut that tree or stop it from growing after reaching a certain length, which means
Okay.
the growth of your organ will be
If you
in
expand
equal proportion.
so if you let the tree keep growing, it's going to keep growing like that, just non-stop. Well, I don't think I will not doubt that kind of thing. In Nigeria, we have case of a man that have a very long. It was so long, it was just like a snake that oh, no woman could get married to him. They have to beg a woman to get married. Before, it was a very serious case. So maybe he have done something like that. It was so abnormal. It was like a third leg, literally another leg. It was so crazy. So there might be rituals for those kind of things, but most of the people I find in Nigeria, most of the men here, they are naturally well endowed. We are just blessed with that. We are naturally well endowed in Africa. So we don't need any kind of enhancement. Even me, I don't even need aphrodisiac or Viagra to have sex. I have a high capacity naturally. So right from time, I'm never into those things because my own capacity is enough for me. I believe that if I take extra thing to boost me, I will go over the fence because I have a high capacity naturally. So most Africans are like that. Africa is a place you see a man marrying 20, 30, 40 wives. I can marry 10 women. I have the capacity to take care of 10 women without having any issue. So there's no need for me to be going after Viagra. It's for people that are having very low capacity. Those are the people that need it, or old men, or people that are having struggle in that department. But for me, I don't have any issue, so I don't really investigate on that. I see people selling this thing. I don't investigate on that aspect because I am kind of covered, but I will do research for people. I know some people need those kind of things, so I bring it out to show them to also help assist them. But I believe if you have a balanced diet, you're eating right, the person's body should be working well. If you are eating right, you're eating the right kind of food, exercising. For an average kind of person, I think you can be able to do some things, can be able to be fair, be okay in that department. Naturally, you should be okay in that department.
Okay, I have a last question for you, and this question is male and female sexual fluids. Do you know of that method of creating a humanoid species using sexual fluids? And do
That
you
is
know of that method?
servitudes, thought forms. Yes, it is possible.
Oh, okay.
Some people call it spiritual children. Yes, it is the same method
Exactly.
like creating
Yes.
a thought form. You trying to assign, create something from nothing, writing the personalities of the spirit, bringing it into existence. So after you have given the spirit a name, you write the characteristics. If you are binding them to a particular deity, everything will be included. So what the person will do is that you have to, when you have created this kind of thing, you have to imagine it coming to existence in your mind. Imagine it like a full reality. Then you have to write down how you are going to be feeding this energy, this thing you have created. It's either by burning insects or by offering liquids, libation. It can be blood or semen. So people believe that semen is the fastest way of bringing this to life because you're using all your creative energy. So people do that by bringing semen, masturbating to give that energy to the thing that they have created. So to bring that spirit to life, that thought form, you need to give it a lot of energy. Maybe for like 1 month or 2 months, so you need to be doing this all the time so it can grow. So when it has developed life of its own, you still need to be feeding it from time to time, not because a thought form that is attached to you. Then the mission, it will, for you doing that kind of thing, this entity will be something that have to survive by sexual energy because you create it with sexual energy. So the thing will be, how will I say, feeding on sexual energy. So you have to be giving it that energy from time to time. So it's not because a thought form that will be doing that work. So just by taking something in your mind and when
Okay.
somebody something too much, you become that thing you think. So we create thought forms all the time from hobbies. So you can create that, bring it into existence, and it starts living. Even after you pass away, we will still be there.
So this is the last one, the conclusion question. Okay, are you aware of the feminist agenda and this gender war that we are having currently?
Okay, this feminist war, yes, I'm quite aware of it, and I see it. It's like a war that is already being lost. Women want more right naturally. I agree that women are oppressed in the world. Yes, they are oppressed. They are oppressed by religion, oppressed by governments. So the only way they think they can get at is by rebelling. Yes, you can rebel. I support them, but you still need help from the male folks to win this your war. You cannot say you want to hate everything male. You don't even want to have a man in your life because you are a feminist, you don't need a husband. Who told you you don't need a husband? You are going to die lonely. How are you going to get children? So, yeah, the way some of them are taking it, the extreme feminist, many of them, they are just destroying their life once again. Just it's like racism in a way. A white racist, you hate everything black, or a black man that is also pushing black racism, you hate everything white. You still need help from the other side in a way to push your agenda forward. So for you to say you don't need a man, you can do anything by yourself, you are totally independent. When they get old, they will know the mistake that they have made when they become old. When they are young now, by the time they become very old, they'll be looking for man to be with them. There's not to be no man because when you were young, you did not stay with any man. So many of them are going to suffer and die lonely, and that is what is waiting for them. So that feminist angle, you want more rights, you need to be destroying or tackling the organizations that are taking your right. This religion, Christianity and Islam, they should be focusing their energy more on breaking those religion. Because if you can take this thing of the mind, if you can reduce the influence of those religion, men will understand and recognize the impact and benefits of women more. But these feminists, they are just fighting every man out there. Every man is their enemy. Every male figure is the enemy. It cannot work. It cannot work. You need the male people to also assist you. You're going to be a lesbian forever. It's just madness. Even lesbians, once in a while, they'll still sleep with man using a plastic dildo for the rest of it. It's not does it make sense? You don't want man, but you're holding a plastic dildo. So stupidity. So they are not going to win that war. They need men to overhead them. They should be attacking the religious bodies that are putting them in the bondage. Not all men. All men is not their enemies. I want women to have more rights. I want to see more women in place of power. I want them to have more freedom over their bodies. I feel sad. You see, even as America is, there are still states that abortion is illegal. Women cannot have abortion. Can you imagine? In El Salvador, a country like El Salvador, if a woman abortion or have miscarriage, she goes to jail for 5 years. In this modern day, you see the kind of laws. So we need to be finding a way to break those kind of systems, break those laws. Not every man is your enemy. There are men that want to help you, but they need to strategize and look out for why they what they really need to, who is the real enemy. Not every man is their enemy. And they need men in their life. They need men. They are not just looking for the right kind of man. They are looking for a perfect man. There's no perfect man. There's no perfect woman. So you have to settle down for somebody that can understand you. So these feminists, their agenda, with the way they are pushing it, it may only lead to more sorrow and more sadness in their life. So I wish them well. But that is the way they want to live their life for now. They're going to regret it in the future.
Definitely. So, my brother, I'd like to thank you for joining me today and having this wonderful discussion on sex and spirituality. So, can you please tell them where they can find you, give them a direction on how to communicate with you, and then we can close this.
My name still remains Ife West. My YouTube channel is Afro Scientific Spirituality. You can find me on YouTube. You can send me a message there, comment on the channel, and we get in touch with you. And you can also like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can ask me questions, any questions about African spirituality, any place you're having reservations or need explanations, and I'll be happy to offer my assistance with any in that regard. So I'm very grateful to be here once again, and I wish you and your family and friends a very, very wonderful weekend, and have a great time. So thank you very much, and take care. Bye. Okay.
Namaste.
Okay.